How you guys doing? It's Fix My Form yet again, and we're coming back into the good old MrSneakyy Discord area. And if you've never joined this episode, or if you're first to this episode series, welcome, because this is where you guys in the Age of Empires mobile community come to the Discord, ask questions about the game, and myself and even the community will answer those questions all for you. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you want to join in the link in the description down below for my Sneaky Army community server, you can go through all of the jazz, including even getting roles. So when you do join the server, make sure you are following the rules and you pick the Age of Empires role. It will allow you to see all of this Age of Empires area, including the Fix My Farm area. So today we're going to go over quite a bunch of these, including a nice little shout out to Estino here, because we did do a quite brief basic understanding on what Miyamoto, Tribuana, and Yodit basically is doing. However, as I have addressed in a future video, a little spoiler ahead on a future video coming on its way, we are going to explain properly here how this march works, because yes, I am kind of right, but at the same time I'm wrong in the full explanation. So here is the better way of explaining it, and this is to do with Miyamoto, Tribuana, and Yodit third. So if you read a Tribuana's skill, it increases the activation chance of the commander. So in the formation, Miyamoto being primary, he is the commander. So meaning her in the secondary slot is going to boost now Miyamoto's activation chance. So you've got one out of the two boosting each other. Now it's vital, as you can see, for your Yodit to have higher might than Tribuana for the machine gun to work, because when you look at Miyamoto's skill, he will boost the next hero with the highest might, excluding himself, especially at 3 stars and above, and you will basically target Yodit. This is now going to allow Yodit to deal massive damage, and then the cycle basically keeps continuing on and on. This is really important, and if you look here as well, if Yodit is primary, the Tribuana will only boost Yodit, but no one boosts Miyamoto. If Tribuana has higher might than Yodit, Tribuana boosts Miyamoto, and then Miyamoto boosts Tribuana, which has no actual effect on her skills, but actually you're going to deal damage, right? She doesn't really have any. So this is why it's even worse, because then again, no one boosting Yodit. So in this fashion, if you do it correctly, you put all of the pieces together, you're going to have a machine gun march. And if you want a full explanation, don't worry. There's a couple of videos coming in the lineup, guys, especially next week. I hope you guys are excited, where I fully explain this in a special guide for you all. So I wanted to put this in here. Big shout out to Estino for everyone in there. And if you want to get some more tips, he does explain a lot of other stuff to do with other marches, which is really interesting for you guys to learn from. So big shout out to that. Now, moving on. When is Season 2? A lot of people ask this in game. When is Season 2 for our game? So if we actually jump into Age of Empires Mobile, you will go to this little crown area, and this is the milestone of your server. So the thing is, once you complete the Imperial City Clash, this is basically when the Imperial City opens up. You will then have the land expansion, and then it'll start moving onwards. Once you've occupied basically the Imperial City for the first time in your server, that generally is the end of Season 1, or within the next couple of weeks or two, that's the end of Season 1. And you will know this because within the next week, you will see the very first Legendary Advent Wheel, and that will determine the S2 heroes. So that's where you're going to get the Bellevues, the Boudikas, right? The Lubu Yodits, the Octavians, and Suleimans, right? So that's where you're going to be able to get those heroes. So it is after your Imperial City, so not before. It is after you've completed that whole Imperial City saga for the first time in your account. So hopefully that answers your guys' question there. Now, best secondary march skills posting for a member here. So if we disable the good old march, you can see that one guy Zero posted this probably in the chat, and Robbie doing a fantastic mod job putting it in the correct channels, which is Fix My March. So I've seen a lot of videos with different secondary skills. So in your opinion, what is the best secondary skills for my marches? Currently I'm focused on cavalry, and at the moment I'm lastly torn between cavalry march, between Hannibal Justinian and Cleo march, or the Elsa Tariq Bushra march. So he's kind of deciding what secondary march he wants to run in the Cavs, right? So we're going to try and answer that after. So let's look at the first images here. We've got some good skills already. I like the whole setup he's got on, to be honest, the Lubu and the Guan Yu. It's really good. You could change out, I'm going to be honest, the critical insight on either the Attila or the Guan Yu for maybe another weak spot attack. The only reason I'm saying that is because you already have one, right? So you could just kind of sacrifice that second trigger just for more damage output. But apart from that, it looks actually pretty good for the skills. I wouldn't be too mad if that was my march. Going into the Yodit now, we've got High Spirit and Furious Charge on the Miyamoto with the Fortification King's Blade Tribuana, Executor, and Battle Raw on our Yodit. So this is all good. Everything is actually pretty good here. The only thing that people will probably question is the Miyamoto, and this is where it is down to preference, and I haven't been able to test this, and hopefully we might be able to do this in the Pioneer test server against someone if they're able to try this out with me, right? So this is where he's got High Spirit and Furious Charge, basically doubling down on the activation in chance over having Earth Crush on the High Spirit, which is more damage and has the right effects, which can trigger other battle effects for other marches. However, this is more of a selfish build, and to be honest, it does seem pretty good. If you were going to change anything, it would be the High Spirit, right? It would be the High Spirit for it. If you're going to do anything else, the Fortification, you should, if you're able to, max that out. If you're level 40 with 4 stars, that is a free 110 armor every time that Tribuana triggers her activation, obviously healing and then bouncing onto the Miyamoto, as we've just kind of discussed earlier on in this video, right? And then your Yoda is perfectly fine how it is. So I like that. Obviously, level up the Executor when you're able to, but apart from that, really good skills. So the next one is his Pikeman, and the Pikeman looks perfect. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even need to go into this. You do have the perfect kind of like setup where you're getting the amount of might increase and then dealing the damage out. Feels good. And then with the Boudica with King's Blade on it too, I like that march, really good on there. And now we've got the Mulan, Bellevue, and Rani. So we've got Weak Spot Attack, Active Mercy, Pain of Blood, Dark Flag, King's Blade, and Warriors Hymn. So this is going to be an interesting one because you can do quite a few different routes on there. So if we jump into game, we'll be able to discuss it, right? Because if we look at my Mulan, I am one of those crazy whales that actually unlocked all of her abilities. And the one thing you could do with her is actually run the double attack state. So the thing is, with this, you're running on your march your Mulan with a Bellevue and a Rani, and obviously Rani here gives you a chance to enter the double attack state. When you read your Bellevue, they also have a chance of doing that when we find it all the way down here. She also has a chance to give you the double attack state, and then Mulan, the big payoff for her is obviously after launching a normal attack, she has a chance of dealing 3 instances of extra damage. So what you're able to do is technically sacrifice maybe the Act of Mercy, and you could put on double attack. This means the march would have the maximum amount of double attack on, and it would allow you to go even crazier. Is it better? I can't justify that, but that is the only thing I could suggest with that match, because you're not running Attila in there, right? So that is my personal kind of opinion on it. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on here, because it is very, very interesting to see where you go down the line. I don't personally like Furious Charge. If you are thinking about this, I wouldn't unlock this. This is technically the one only regret I would have on my Mulan, is unlocking this one skill. It's 8k Empire coins I could have saved, but it is what it is, right? So I wouldn't unlock this one, but the other 3 are pretty good and safe options. Depends on what you're going to be pairing with the Mulan. So coming back into your pairings now, you can see you've got a really good actual lineup out of all 4. So when it comes to your secondary march, I personally think, and this is my personal opinion, the El Cid Tariq Bushra march, even at 1 star, does provide a lot more compared to the Hannibal, Justinian, and Cleo. Because the thing is, with the Hannibal Tactician Cavalry March, and this is my opinion, I'm sorry, but Cleo is okay, but a shocker is what makes that match insane. And the fact that you can trigger a shocker's skill on turn 1 because of Hannibal, it's just a match made in heaven, right? The thing is, with the El Cid, Tariq, and Bushra March, it's really good in dealing burst damage, but also what people really do look down on is the fact that El Cid is triggering down that slow down state. So you're basically able to always chase down targets. Whoever gets touched by El Cid is basically going negative 90%. It's just disgusting when you see it. And then you've got the Tariq and Bushra kind of doing their thing where they're disarming them and allowing the El Cid to burst through even harder. So I would personally go down that route, and also by going down that route, you could even not go for the Tariq and even go free to play friendlier, right? And go YSG and get the good old other cavalry marshal guy in there and just use your tavern tokens, save a bit of money on the Tariq. And what that means is you're just working on a tavern hero, a legendary advent wheel hero, and then you'd be spending on Bushra in the long term of things, which ain't too bad. You could be using her in the future for Marshal Pikeman, right? So that's what I would do for you if you were going through the skills. I think the skills we've answered, and then the actual march choice at the end. Love to hear again, guys, your thoughts. If you want to timestamp it right here, right now, timestamp it and just answer what you would do in your opinion, right, for that guy Zero on his skills and what other marches you would go for. So here we got Nikasan going, we've got a good second match combo, not using Josephine, King Derek, or Hammurabi for free to play. I'm 8 days from capturing Kingsland Capital, so I should wait until S2 to make a new match. So here, Sagami even answered, Lubu, Guan Yu, Tiller might be your go-to in Season 2. And even I'm about to say the same thing, because right now, if you've saved up so much, right, and you've not got too much invested, and this is your current hero, which is your King Derek, you've got your Hammurabi set up as well, right, with the good old Josephine. So you've got the super route heavy combo. You can run that as your just free to play infantry march. I would advise you to try and use that more in Garrison, just because the healing of Josephine. Some people might disagree, but it's okay in the open field, but you will get honestly targeted, and that's what feels bad when you're using it. But that is just a kind of free to play kind of bad shitstorm you're in. However, if we go back into the full game and we come out of our customizable skills, we can look at Warrior Cavalry. And the thing is, you're a free-to-play player and you're looking at maybe choices to go for. One of the most easiest cheeses I would call right now, and Sagami's all on it too, is the Lubu, Guan Yu, and Attila March. Because the thing is, with that, Lubu can be 1 star, 3 star, or 5 star. That's how good he is at any of his star ratings, because of how much damage he's putting out because of the critical strike combo with Guan Yu and Attila. And the thing is, you don't even need a great Guan Yu. Yes, mine's only 2 star. I would advise 3 star just to give you that little bit of oomph in the march, but even a 2 star one's going to be fine because you're mainly using him for his skill, which is the critical strike triggering. But then Attila, everyone loves Attila, and having even a 3 star Attila in that is super cheap. Having a 1 3 star basically lineup for cavalry in the warrior lineup, you're doing absurd damage. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about on the reason behind it, and just to give you guys again, this is a very basic rundown of it. I'm not trying to go super detailed to blow everyone's mind, but when you read Lubu's skill, he increases his critical strike rate and makes all of the heroes' skills deal critical strikes. So all of your damage now on all of your heroes are dealing critical strikes. Then, which is what's important, After any of your heroes deals a critical strike, increases the damage of Lubu's next customizable skill. So this is where it's kind of disgusting because this stacks up to 1 time and does not affect during the double attack state. This can basically allow Lubu to just do an absurd amount of damage because of the amount of critical strikes that's triggering through your Guan Yu here, and obviously through the Attila. So it's kind of like a stack, and then boom, it just hits them really hard because of the Lubu. And it's just easy damage. And to be honest, it's going to destroy me. I'm a big spender, and if that thing comes near my Mulan, it's going to eat me alive, right? So it's kind of terrifying to play against, even on my spending level, right? So it's an easy cop-out. I would look forward to, if I was a free-to-play player, that March. If you want to work towards a March, at least in the next season, that would be the one to go for. And that is with an Attila and obviously with a Lubu, right? So hopefully that answers your question. And obviously Sig, big shout out to Sig, big love out there, jumping in as well, helping people. And obviously, if you guys didn't know, we've been supporting Sig with his crusade on the Lunar event. We all know what we're talking about. If you don't know, I will put another link up there. Check it out. It's all about what is going on currently, which is kind of the drama in the Age of Empires mobile community on this spending event, right? So moving up, we've only got 3 more remaining. And again, if you guys want to participate, you're able to do so. Just join the Discord, hit the fix by form area, and post whatever questions you want to post. So here we've got Estino and Kabat. So Estino does a really good job actually talking about this. I'm going to actually let him answer it on my behalf, because he does this really good. So the question from Katab is, this is Swordsman March. I want to put gear on it. I'm a low spender. I saw a video saying I should put I should have wait for purple gear. I don't know what to do, honestly. I'd grind legendary or just go for purple, Yodi, and trade. Please recommend me rings for them too. So Estino goes, what I would do is, what I do for low spender is put legendary gear on Miyamoto, which is what I recommend, and get all pieces to level 40, the helmet and the chest 2 stars for the troop capacity, and the arms and leg 1 star. At the same time, you use purple gear on Yodi and Trib. Again, focus on the helmet and chest piece for the troop capacity, and also gem slots on all pieces. Once you have the Miyamoto helmet and chest to 2 stars, you have enough spare helmets or chests. You can create 2 2-star, 2-star helmets, chests for the Yodi. PS, you can reset gear pieces and to get materials back. So this is a really good tip, because you can, if you made any mistakes, you can kind of reset and get those back. We might make a full video on that, who knows, might be a nice tip and trick for you. But going into the way he's discussing this, if you look at the marches, basically if you get your gear, guys, you want your main march. So in this case, it's going to be his Miyamoto. He wants all legendary gear on this, which he's already done. You want to be working towards what the actual pieces that give you either unit capacity and health bonus. That's what I would recommend. They're the 2 things you want to go for. So here you can see helmet and chest is the main go-to, and then you want to go for the others after. Once you've done that, basically you're going to get purple gear for your other marchers. So if you jump into game, you can actually see that with my marchers, right? So if we look at my good old Mulan, so if we get rid of cavalry and we put on our archers, you're going to see my Mulan here, we've got 40 on these, and we're starting to work towards level 40 on my helmet, because this is where we're going to start to star it up, right? Because I've hit that ability to do so. So this is where we're grinding towards that. So we're going to hit level 40 on this. Once we've done that, we'll obviously finish off with the good old arm piece. But you'll look at my good old Attila. He's in the same process, right? We're working on this gear 40 just because it's easy, but we'll be doing this helmet next because we're able to do so. And then once we look at Rani, she's in that same boat, and we are technically in the star process of making this 1 star first, and then we're going to finish off this to make it 2 star, and then we're good to go, right? We can carry on doing what we were doing with our Mulan. But you can see how we are using 2 purple sets and at least a legendary set, right, on our good old gear. And that just makes it a lot easier, guys, to grind and max out. And you'll notice maybe down the line, you might make another set of gear, and you might have another legendary purple, and you do it again, you might have another legendary purple, and maybe in the future you rock all 3 legendaries on 1 gear and just run 1 match, right? Who knows? But this way it's manageable, it's not too overbearing for a player to actually achieve good gear, right? So that's what I would recommend when it comes to your gear side of things, especially on this question, right? So really good one. So coming into now Legion priorities from Stadsay. What's your thoughts on which legions I should prioritize first, when what I should do after? My thoughts were on the Lubu Legion to max, and then the Josephine Legion. Also Marshal Pikeman, Legion G, which is Julius Caesar, Octavian, and Bushra. Any good? I've picked up Octavian, but I should spend any time or moment on that legion to make it stronger. So the thing is, I'm going to answer the Pikeman bit first, and then we'll go into the next bit. I wouldn't go for Marshal Pikeman with Julius Caesar, Octavian, Bushra. I personally don't like it, but Octavian is a good hero. Octavian's good, and I like Bushra. I just don't like the Julius Caesar. He's got some really good skills you can switch into, I will admit, but personally I don't like that. I do think if you wait patiently, there will be a Pikeman to come for this match. Let's just say that, because the thing is, if we talk about warrior Pikeman, you can go down the Richard and say Boudica and just Joan route, and then you're going to replace the Joan of Arc with Mansa Musa anyway. So you've got this kind of triple warrior lineup for Pikeman, which is all free-to-play friendly, all obtained through legendary advent wheel. So I can imagine something similar coming for Marshal Pikeman. So maybe just wait and not go too heavy in Julius Caesar, but that is my opinion. Now, finishing off with this, he goes, I am strictly free to play, so I'm limited to what I can do at one time. Do I have any other heroes that I would improve than my current matches? I have around 50 metal coins, so I can get any hero to 1 star with any problem, right? So let's go through this. We've got all of his matches. Let's see what we can improve and what we can work on. So really good already. We've got the Josephine over 3 stars, and the Hammurabi is here. So what you're able to do with this match, if you wanted to, over time, depending on where you're at in the game, because I am going to just double check on your good old section here. So we have Yodi unlocked, which is really interesting. So we've got Yodi unlocked, but no Tribuana unlock. So that's going to be a little bit hard. So we can't go down that route. So let's work with what we've got. So this is going to be a fairly easy one. You've kind of got it on the nail. You could remove Infuriation if you really wanted to make this next level and just put double attack on there. It's going to maximize the amount of damage and potential chances that you're going to deal damage. Or even if you really wanted to maximize the chance for this King Derek, you can even put the Sunder on here instead and then keep the weak spot attack on. Just switch it around, right? So you can do that. So this match is pretty good. You've actually got it sorted. This is exactly what we want to see. Hammurabi first to trigger the if route target statement on the King Derek. So actually don't want to mess with that. Keep that exactly how it is. Let this work on it over time. Don't waste your medals on this, right? Now, this is something where we're talking that we could be getting a bit spicy, right? So I don't know how many medals off the top of my head it's gonna cost to get a hero to 3 stars from 1. I will be honest. I think it's definitely more than 50. I can guarantee that, right? So this is where it's gonna be tricky, because I would have loved to have a 3-star Attila the Hun, and maybe that's the route you go down. You go down the route of using your medals on the Attila the Hun to get him 3 stars, and if you're able to get another Lubu wheel, spin that wheel to try and get him as close to 3-star as possible. So once you've done your Attila, you're going to work on him, and Guan Yu just kind of let him, you know, just work his way through the tavern. Unfortunately, we don't want to waste our medals on a tavern hero. There might be a better one later down the line in like the season 4, season 5, season 6, who knows, right? In the warrior cavalry evolution. So we don't want to waste anything on him. So that's one way we could invest our sculptures. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't worry about this match. I'm going to be honest, people have been trying this match, and I've gone against this match so many times, and they've got them 3-starred and above. And this is going to be in the Wonder Contest. And every time I see it, I just destroy it. I don't know what it is. It just feels a bit too slow for me. So I wouldn't recommend going too hard on it. It's a nice little filibuster if you want to have it. It's a nice filibuster. Now, this is actually a match I would technically recommend. If you wanted to just run everyone 1-star, that's fine, and let the YSG over time in the tavern get to 3-stars. That is really good because you can upgrade this march really well, right? You can get the YSG and put on that Blood Roar, and I think it is the Peeler Strike. We can go in game, right? Let's go in game and check. So we can go into the YSG. So if we go and filter correctly, this is going to be a Martial Archer. Martial Archer, or Cavalry, shall we say? Martial Cavalry. So we've got our YSG here, and you can see I've got the setup you want, which is Blood First and a Battle Roll. And what this does is, as a hero with Quick Wit, it allows you to double trigger these all the time. So you're always recovering units and you're always increasing your damage, which is kind of nuts because you will do an absurd amount of damage. On top of this, Seong the Great and Bushra are an obscenely tanky combination with King's Blade on Bushra, increasing all damage again, and then on top you have Peaceful Haven, so whenever Bushra recovers units, you're going to reduce the damage taken. It's making a super tanky, and then Seong the Great doing the exact same thing, making himself super tanky, and you don't even need to go super crazy because you can keep Fortification on him and just switch this last skill here for a better one like Peaceful Haven, for example. But this is just going to allow you, again, just to absolutely be an absolute tank of a Cav match, and you will do some good damage. You don't need to do some crazy medal investments, as you can clearly tell from this. All you're going to have to do is level up your heroes and get the skills that I've kind of talked about in that video, right? So, reeling it back in, our final one is, as you said, you could, again, work on the Octavian, and as I've said with the YSG match we just talked about, it's going to run the Bushra anyway. So you're going to have a high-level Bushra, add an Octavian, and hopefully there's going to be a better Martial Pikeman that can be placed instead of Julius Caesar. Don't get me wrong, he's okay. I think a lot of people do like him because you can change to some good skills. I just think there's going to be a better one you can invest into. That's my humble opinion. But you've got two of the better Martial Pikemen that you can work down the line. And coming back into things, you can see all of the heroes he's got here and everyone that he's got, you know, leveled up. So we are working pretty fair with what we've got. You know, it's not too bad at all, and especially for a free-to-play player, I'm liking what I'm seeing. So hopefully I've answered all of the questions there on what I would go for investment wise. It's either going to be that Lubu match. That would probably be the #1 go-to match where you're going to use your medals. But then the YSG match might be where you're going to go for your second match and actually just level it up, right? Level it up, get some skill points into there. You don't need to actually waste anything. Keep it all 1-star. And you might be surprised on how good that actually is for a free-to-play player because of how tanky it is, right? So finishing it up, Agent M, the good old Agent M. We've got my current match is Pikeman, approaching S2 in my server. I'm contemplating ranking up Fred to 3 stars and replace Rich with Boudica when she's out. Does that make sense? I know Richard is mad, but Fred is much cheaper to rank up due to the battle pass. So it does make sense because of that. However, I would still run a Richard. Richard is just that good of a hero, while Fred is just providing you tankiness. Let's just say he's providing you tankiness, which you can also get from the other heroes. And the thing is, which we can also talk about with Pikeman, you're gonna have Richard, Boudica, and you could run still your good old Frederick Barbarossa in the back, right? And in the next season, season 3, you will get a brand new warrior pikeman called Mansa Musa, and he will just replace that hero, right? So you'll run Richard with Mansa and Boudica, right? That's going to be kind of your lineup. It might switch on the combinations, but that is going to be the 3 people you're going to run together. And even for me, that runs Joan of Arc instantly gets thrown out for Mansa Musa. So I wouldn't go so hard on Fred. I would still go for Richard, right? That's mine, right? The second question is, what should my second match be, right? The initial plan is to build Hannibal clear as a second team, but I feel quite weak so far. Should I continue to switch to another team, spend a little for Miyamoto, and wait for a few more weeks for Lu Bu? So the thing is, he's got a lot of heroes on display, and this might be, I don't know, depending on where he is now in his life cycle on this server, I would always go for the Miyamoto march, right? If you're able to go for the Miyamoto march and work on that Tribuana, you're going to be thankful because you're going to get Yodi and you've got a machine gun march. But a cheaper match is the Lubu one, right? And the thing is, you've got a 0-star Attila, so you'd have to work on the Attila too, which is what I was about to say, right? You're going to have to get like a 1 or 3-star Attila. So then when it comes to Lubu, you can spin that and get a 1-star or 3-star on the Lubu at least, and start cooking with a, 3-star Lubu or 1-star Lubu, a 1 or 2-star Guan Yu by the time you hit there, and then a definite 3-star Attila. So whichever route you go down, if you're going to spend a little on this march, you're either going to have to choose to go down and start up the Tribuana or the Attila. And then if you do the Tribuana route, you're going to spend on VIP to get Miyamoto. And if you go the Attila route, you're going to have to spend on the Empire coins to get Lubu, right? So hope that answers your question there. His current matches he has sent below. We've got a good old Hannibal with Justinian and Cleo. I just think, Hannibal just needs to be 1-star at least. Just get something into him just so he's doing something. There's no even skills on there like double attack, which you need to get this really pumping out. So we need to get the skills worked on. Same with this match. Again, really good free-to-play friendly match, to be honest. All you need to do is change Infuriation or Sunder to double attack, Crashing Boulder to like Earth Crush if you want more damage, and then Efficient Harvest switch to, I think, Peaceful Haven, and you're good to go, right? Pikeman, we're pretty good. Super free-to-play friendly there. I love the setup he's got here, having the metal on there to give you a little bit of tankiness. But yeah, you will replace this hero with Boudica, or you will replace this hero with Mansa Musa anyway. So no matter what, Leo, Richard are just 2 amazing pikemen. Once you get them leveled up in the stars, you get the heroes skills leveled up, you get the gear, and you get the rings, you'll honestly see the powerhouse of this match. It's a late game match. It's not an early game match. So there we go. We've gone through all of the Fix My Form on the good old MrSneakyy Army Discord server. If you want to guys join in, you want to put yourself in the Fix My Form, you know what to do. Join the good old server. You will land on the welcome page as we've had some new members joining during this recording. Make sure you hit the rules, hit the thumbs up like a good old boy here. And if you want to get the actual Age of Empires section, click on the roles and make sure you have the role clicked on, and you should see it all there for you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope I've answered all of your questions, and if any of you in the Age of Empires mobile community want to help answer as well any of the questions that I've gone through, remember you can timestamp and answer away for it. So smash a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next Fix My Form, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys. Peace out.